And welcome back once again to this month's edition of the President's Table. Our guests for this segment are Dr. Mary Hendricks, Vice President for Student Access and Success, and Stephanie Hawley, Dean of Enrollment Management. And our topic is how the university made history this fall. And it has been a very exciting fall. And let me ask you, Mary, what happened? What historic moment happened this fall?
Well, of course, this was fall 2011, and in keeping the pattern of fall 2010, we reached 10,000. This fall, we reached 11,000 students.
Right, which is the first time in the university's history that we've crossed that threshold. And I remember the afternoon, in fact, that it happened, and even the student.
Yes.
And Dakota Griffin, I believe, was his name.
Dakota Griffin from Greenville.
From Greenville
High School.
Right. Yes. And he actually showed up that afternoon. You know, so many of our students register online. We weren't sure whether the 11,000 student was going to be just, you know, a line on a screen or a real person.
That's right. Yes.
So Dakota showed up and registered and got his picture taken.
Yes.
Did he expect this to happen?
His comment was, if I knew it was going to be such a lucky day, I would have bought a lottery ticket.
Well, it is kind of a watershed moment in the university's history. How about the enrollment outlook for 2012? Do you expect this trend to continue?
That is our goal, to continue the pattern of course, we're going to be fall 2012, and we want to reach 12,000.
Right. Now, why do students, why are they coming to A&M-Commerce? Have you seen any changes? Have you seen any trends?
I think what we're seeing is students and families want to go to places where people care about them. And the personal service that we're able to provide students makes a difference. They don't want to just be a number. And I think a lot of it has to do with the cost of higher education now. Parents and students are expecting more.
Right.
And we have a wonderful staff who focus on the individual student.
Right, and it makes a difference.
Yes.
Stephanie, what do you hear from students and families as they come to A&M-Commerce? What are their concerns? I guess we've talked about what draws them to the university, but what are some of the tough issues they're dealing with?
Well, money is always the biggest.
Yeah.
I think everybody's concerned with that, especially with the economy and the way that it has been, and just public education in general, losing funding opportunities for students and losing teachers and staff and those kinds of things. So money is the biggest concern. I think just for parents and families making decisions, just making sure that they find a place that they feel is safe, place where they can leave their child and feel confident that everybody's watching out for them and taking care of them.
Yeah.
But I think it all ties back to what Dr. Hendricks mentioned, and that is the personal relationship, the care that we have for people, the way that we treat people as individuals, and how important it is to us to hear from them and to be able to solve their problems and work through issues with them. That's very critical for us, very important in maintaining this enrollment and growing in the future.
Right, right. Now, we've seen a lot of campus improvements in the last few years. How does that affect recruiting?
That's big. New residence halls is a huge attraction. Many students select campuses because of their living opportunities. So that has really helped the enrollment growth. I think just coming to a campus that is as beautiful as ours and having new buildings and new technology and access to those things that are important in the learning process is a big draw.
Yeah, students are pretty savvy shoppers.
They are.
Yeah, and things
a lot of
like,
competition out there.
Right, you know, wireless and amenities.
Yes.
Of course, our beautiful Morris Rec Center.
Yes.
I'm sure they take a hard look at that.
That's right.
You know. How does a university, which now has more than 11,000 students, preserve that personal touch?
Well, I think that has to be a priority. We make it a priority, or we lose who we are as far as our mission and why we exist. I think you hire people who that is their passion, is serving others. And if you have the people, then the rest will come as far as service.
Right.
It's critical.
Right. And of course, word of mouth is so important when we're trying to explain to students what we have to offer. We can reach so many, but then they share what they experience and hear with others.
Right.
What are some of the, for lack of a better word, let's just say some of the word of mouth selling points of A&M-Commerce? And I'll give you a hint. I'm thinking like the Honors College.
Yes, yes. The Honors College, I think, has done more for our university as far as programming to raise the level of prestige for our university than anything that we've done in many years, because it has really sent a message to parents and teachers and counselors that we're focused on quality. And so that, bringing those students on campus, we've had a residual effect of others coming, following them. And
Right.
I can see, looking back now, that probably is really made a significant difference in our
Right.
university.
Honors college students, honor students have honor students for friends,
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's it.
Just the way athletes have athletes for friends,
Right.
music majors have, and so forth and so on.
Yes,
So,
and I think another draw is the ability to package students financially with good, healthy scholarships and other resources to help them pay. So when you're really comparing apples to apples, you see that we really are a very reasonable option in terms of higher education. So
Right.
it's really helping people put all those pieces together, because that's complicated.
It is
That's
complicated.
confusing. So
Yeah.
it's just really being available to say, okay, let's piece all of this together and help you be successful financially as well.
And of course, we still have a lot of first-generation college students, first in their families to come to the university,
Yes,
and it can be particularly mysterious for them.
yes. And it's about creating a culture and an environment where they feel welcome and invited, and their families feel that way too, because
Right.
that's scary. So here's a mother and a father trying to lead a student, and they've never experienced higher education before. That's uncomfortable.
Right.
So we really want to create an atmosphere that says, we welcome you, we want you here, and we want to hear your questions and get those answered.
Right. You know, this university was founded as East Texas Normal College in 1889, and for many, many years it was known as the university that kind of served the rural part of Northeast Texas. And of course, that's still very important to our mission, and we still get a lot of students from Ladonia and Campbell and Cumbie and so forth. But increasingly, we're reaching into the Metroplex, Dallas and Fort Worth, and I know that the Division of Student Access and Success has been leading the effort to form strategic partnerships with Metroplex area high schools. Can you talk about some of those that either have produced results or look very promising?
Yeah.
Stephanie?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
We've got a lot of partnerships that we're very proud of, and we're focused on additional partnerships for this coming cycle because we know how critical those are, as you mentioned. Education is Freedom is a big partnership of ours with Dallas ISD. We focus programs and partnerships with AVID, Advancement via Individual Determination is what that stands for. We also just met this morning with the Uplift Schools, a very prestigious set of charter schools out of Dallas, and we're going to be forming a partnership with them. So those pieces are very critical to our
Right.
success.
They're all avenues that
They are.
students can tread upon in order to find their way
They
to
are.
college. Well, Dr. Mary Hendricks and Dean Stephanie Holly, thank you so much for being our guest on this segment of the President's Table. Thank you most of all for the way you create opportunity for students.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
And we'll be back in a moment for our final segment of the President's Table.